Momma Cuisine is about making great everyday meals with simple ingredients and basic cooking techniques, and I want to show you how. Now tell me that this doesn't look like a meal you would find in a restaurant. This show also highlights restaurants, foodies, artisans, and events to help me in my quest in making great everyday meals. So come join me. I'm Johanna Cook of Momma Cuisine. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Momma Cuisine. I am Johanna Cook. Today I'm going to make one of my favorite soups made with sausage, shortcut pasta, a little bit of kale, red potatoes, and a sprinkle of Parmesan cheese. First, we're going to start with actually baking some garlic bread. I'm going to start with making my own parsley garlic butter, and I'm going to show you how to make your own flavored butter. All you really need is 1 stick of unsalted room temperature butter, and you can really put whatever you want. Today I'm going to do very simple garlic and parsley. This is great. I'm going to make some garlic bread. That's perfect for that. It's also good if you do that, wrap it in saran wrap, mold it back, put it in the freezer, and it's also perfect when you have a perfectly cooked grilled steak. Slice the butter up and it has parsley and garlic. Put it over your steak. Oh, it's so good. Or baked potatoes. You can do so many things. You could do so many different flavors. You could add chili powder. You could do sweet butters with fresh fruit. You just puree a little fruit and put it in there. And you could have strawberry butter, really grilled pineapple butter. You can make so many things with just a very simple stick of unsalted butter. Today I'm going to do it savory with garlic and parsley. We're going to do 3 to 4. I think 3 might be fine. 3 cloves of garlic. Now you want to cut this pretty fine. So let's slice this first. Okay, very carefully. You don't want to nick your finger, that would be bad. You could do this in a food processor, but I'm going to show you that even without the big fancy equipment, that you could do it at home. So you just want to mince this garlic very finely. Just rock your knife back and forth. The nice thing is you just kind of put your palm at the edge of the knife here, holding it very firmly, and you just kind of hold it in place. And what you're doing is just moving your other hand. And that's what helps. Okay, one last run through here. That's 3 cloves, pretty good sized cloves. We're gonna put that in with our butter. I have here some parsley. Oh, this is gonna be so good slathered on our French baguettes. Take this, tuck it in, tuck your fingers in, and start slicing it through. Do it as finely as you can. When I used to work in restaurants, I used to watch the prep cooks cut herbs and vegetables, and wow, the way they would zip through those was amazing to watch. Just how fast they could zip through all the food prep. Okay, that's pretty good to me. This one as well, you want it to be pretty fine. So just like with the garlic, you want to do the same, rocking your knife. Okay, we're going to add about 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Salt and pepper. You could do so many different kinds of herbs. You could use tarragon if you like tarragon, with lemon. With the back of your fork, you just kind of want to mix it together and mesh all those ingredients. Just keep mixing it until you see that it's all incorporated. I really love the sweet butters, especially when I'm having brunch, or I'll make it on the weekend, so during the week The kids have a really fun breakfast before they go to school. Strawberries when they're in season, that's what I'll do. Make homemade strawberry butter. Grilled pineapple, I love pineapple. So imagine grilled pineapple butter. I think I've said that a few times. I love grilled pineapples. I think I'm excited for summer and I can have lots of it. So this right here, I'm gonna keep it just like this. Slather it on our French baguettes. So now that our butter is ready, all I'm gonna do is slather it on our French baguettes. This is one baguette here that I cut in half and cut in quarters. I have the oven heating up at 350 degrees right now. And what I'm gonna do with our gorgeous tasty butter right here is just slather it on each baguette. Oh, look at that. Oh, it looks so good already. It's not even done yet. You can see that. And you wonder how they do it in restaurants. It's quite similar to this. Be generous, don't be shy. To that garlic. Okay, wow, yummy. Slather that on. Look at that, down our last one. We're gonna put this in the oven for about, you gotta watch it because it depends on your oven too. So about 10 minutes, I'm gonna say, to start. And you just wanna watch it very carefully. Some ovens are a little bit stronger than others, if your oven is convection or not. So now we're gonna stick our garlic bread in the oven. For about 10 minutes. And now I'm gonna heat up here a pot to make our soup. I have here about, I wanna say, 3/4 of a pound, half a pound to 3/4 of a pound of mild Italian sausage. You can get it out of the casing, or what I did today is I just took it out the casing myself. The onions and garlic are going. It smells really good in here. Anytime you start off a recipe with onions and garlic, you know you're gonna have something good at the end. This is an Italian-inspired soup, and I know, there's a popular chain restaurant who has a very popular sausage soup that I used to really love. And this is kind of inspired by that, but much better because it's made fresh in your own home. And this is my version of that soup. Okay, so you just want to mince that garlic. I'm gonna add a little bit of olive oil to our pot here, a couple tablespoons. That sausage has some fat, so you don't want to overdo it with that, okay? So let's go ahead and put our onions in. And let's put our garlic in as well. Around just a little bit. Watch your heat. You want your heat to be about medium-high, not too high. And you just want to get the flavors out. Get the flavors out of those onions. Next, I have some red potatoes. Depending on how big your potatoes are, you're probably going to want about 1.5 cups of potatoes. Now, does it need to be any particular size? You want them small, but not too tiny. Okay, so just roughly dice it. The thing with these potatoes is that they're all kind of an odd shape. Some are bigger than others when you buy the sack. Some are a little bit smaller. So you just want to try and get them same size so that they cook evenly. That's the most important part. And I love red potatoes. They're more waxy than the russet potato. Great for baking, great for soups, like this one. You just roughly dice. Okay, let's see how much we end up with here. Now that the onions and garlic have softened, we're gonna add our sausage. 3/4 of a pound. You want to break it up with the back of your spoon. And start to get it brown. It looks good already, doesn't it? It smells really good in here. Such a great soup. Again, readily available ingredients, which that's the kind of cooking any typical family who's busy, on the run during the week, even the weekends. You just want to make good food with ingredients that you can easily find. And that's what I love about great everyday meal cooking. Now that our sausage is starting to brown, I'm going to add about a tablespoon of Italian seasoning, just dried, and a teaspoon of red pepper flakes. Because it's dry herbs, you want to put it pretty early on in the dish to allow the herbs to kind of open up, the flavors to melt together. And what's an Italian-inspired soup without Italian seasoning? That already has your thyme, your rosemary, oregano. That way you don't have to think about it. Everything's already in there. Just break it up to the back of your spoon. Now with that, now we're going to add our potatoes, not tomatoes, or potatoes. So we're going to add our potatoes in. Kind of start mixing those together. Oh, those flavors. Oh my. It smells really good already. We're going to add now 2 teaspoons of salt. There's already red pepper flakes in there, so it's up to you whether or not you want to add a little bit more pepper with a black pepper or not. I'm going to just kind of wait on that till later and see how everything's tasting. Oh, this is great. This smells so good. So now to this, we're going to add 8 cups of low sodium chicken broth. And you just let that go. And what you want to do is bring it up to a boil. So we're going to cover this, bring it up to a boil. Then we're going to add our shortcut pasta and some kale. So I put the 1 cup of shortcut pasta already in the soup and it's working there. Now that we're almost done, we just need to get our kale. Now this is kale here, very hearty, curly leaf. You could also get it in red, which actually looks more like a dark purple. That would work in the soup as well. You could also use spinach if you like. Even collard greens would work. Swiss chard would work very, very well in this. We're just gonna roughly chop it. We're not really gonna use the tough ends. We just really want the leaf part of it. So what I'm gonna do to make it easy is just slice through here very simply. You don't want too big of a slice, but just enough so that it cooks quickly in the soup. It just gives that soup a nice bite. And I just took 1 head of kale, okay? 1 bunch, I mean, of kale from the store. So we're just gonna cut it until we get to the ends. And like I said, we're not gonna use that. Now that the potatoes are softened, the pasta is already cooked all the way through, all we need to do is add this kale, taste it for flavoring. I also already took out our garlic bread. It was in the oven, like I said, at 350 degrees, and it ended up to be about more, closer to 15 minutes than it was to 10. And like I said, you just want to check your oven and see and kind of see where you're at and feel it out. So now we're gonna add this kale to our soup. Very hearty soup, actually. I'm gonna turn the heat up just a little. And what I did for the pasta, you can use any shortcut pasta, even macaroni if you have ditalini. What I did actually was I had a little bit of spaghetti left and I just cut them all and kind of broke it all off with my hands. Check out our garlic bread right here. So delicious with a side of crusty garlic bread. Oops. What we're gonna do now is get a spoon. We're gonna add a little bit of parsley for freshness. Just a little bit. And of course, a handful of Parmesan cheese. Now that's a soup that you're gonna wanna try. I hope you give this recipe a whirl. If you want to see any more episodes, make sure you scroll through this channel, watch all the episodes on here. Any more recipes, log on to mommacuisine.com. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you again next week. Thank you.